Hey guys, today we're going to go through the Leetcode July question of the day, reverse words and string. So this is a typical, a common question that gets asked in interviews, or at least it's interesting because you got to really consider the edge cases. And there's multiple ways to solve this. So usually this one's a little bit more lenient with some of the edge cases. Of course, you have to remove the heading and trailing white spaces, but in terms of punctuation, they're allowable. I know some other variations of this problem. I believe I saw this on pramp.com. You have to remove the punctuation, so that's another little edge case that you have to include in your code. But for this, it seems that you can include the punctuation. And now, in terms of how to solve this, one way you can do this is to just reverse the characters in the string, and then you iterate through those reverse characters, and then when you find a white space, you just reverse the characters again, and then you either append it or in place include it into the string. And actually, it'd probably be better to just do it in place because then in place because then you wouldn't have to create an additional array data structure. Okay. So maybe that's something you could do as a potential optimization. But yeah, for the most part, that's how I would solve it. You go through every single character, reverse it. So the first character in this new reverse string would be EULB. Then you find a space, and then you just reverse these characters right here. So I'm thinking like you could probably do a two-pointer approach within this for loop in order to reverse it. I just want to make sure I'm not creating some unnecessary. Actually, it might be better just to append it because I don't want this to get into quadratic time. Okay, yeah, and then the only thing is like to reconsider additional spaces in between. So if you maybe have like a sub R within this iterating of the reverse characters, maybe you just want to skip it if the sub R is empty. So yeah, let's do all that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is strip the leading and trailing white spaces. Then we're going to create an R S char or IDX for char IDX in range lang S -1 -1 -1. So this kind of confused me when I first learned about it. But basically, when you're reversing a string, you want to include 0 because you remember that the second part, the second index is non-inclusive. So if you want to get 0, you have to go to -1. And then this third part is -1 step, so you're going from the last element to the first element, and you're decreasing by 1. So remember, this is the incrementer or decrementer for your range function. Okay. From there, now we're going to have an output one, and then we're going to eventually have return dot join output. And I think we can have a dec too, because you can just append left instead of having to reverse the string again. Okay, so for char in SR, if char does not equal empty space, then you're going to have some sub R. Oh, let's make that a dec. Okay. Sub R dot append left. Yeah, append left. Char. Then from there, else, so it is empty if sub R equals 0, So if it's empty, then you just skip it. So we just continue. Else, then this is where you would add the sub R to list, the output, sorry. So while sub R curval. So yeah, it looks like we are doing O N K O N times K time complexity, and then we're doing O N space complexity because we are still creating this new additional array. Sub R dot pop left. And we do output dot append per val. So let's print this output. Oh, and then we just have, okay, so this is a little gotcha I forgot. So you add this space in order for this to, so it's missing the, for some reason. Oh, okay. Okay. And then also it's on its final loop, you want to make sure that you include this. Length equals sub R. Sub R, and then you do for IDX in sub R and range length curval equals sub R dot pop left, and then you just do output dot append curval. Silly little mistakes. Gotta look out for those. Print output. Let's look at what's that's looking like. Interesting. Finally. Okay. Alright, let's look at my details. I think it's gonna be slow. Okay. It's a little slow, but it's not the worst. Okay, the memory's not too good either, but okay, yeah, this is a solution. So you don't have to use the deck. I just wanted to be fancy. You can actually just use uh, essentially the reverse list operation. That's a Pythonic way of reversing an array. So you basically just take an array, open up the brackets, colon, colon, -1, colon. I mean, not colon, ending bracket. And then essentially what it does is it just reverses everything in place. Yeah, so that is my solution to the problem. Hope you guys have a great day. Cheers.